Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So this is my third time filming this intro, so I feel very flustered right now. I just want to get that off my chest already, or I just feel like I need to put it out there. Anyway, I have a tutorial for you guys today. It's on this look that I'm wearing, obviously, and it's actually going to be using the Morphe 35O palette. If you guys follow me on Snapchat, you'll know that I did purchase the 35O and the 35K. If you haven't seen the 35O, you might be living under a rock, but it's okay because I'm going to show you it right here. So this is the 35O palette. 35O, can you hear me? Cover my mouth. And basically, if you love warm tones, this is like your palette. It's calling your name. I personally love warm tones, and when I saw that this palette was out, I fell in love with it, but I was kind of hesitant. I didn't buy it at its first release because I was just kind of like, let me see what people say about it, and I want to see swatches and stuff. So when it was in stock the second time, my biggest suggestion for you is that if you plan to buy this palette, because I want to say it's out of stock again, and the minute it comes back into restock, don't even hesitate. Just go on their website and purchase it if you're planning on purchasing this palette. I know that when this came back in stock this past time recently, it sold out within the first day. So definitely it's a very highly requested palette. It's a very sought after palette. So don't even like think about it, or else you might be, you know, out of luck when it's time to buy it again. So I wanted to do this look. It's definitely a more edgier look, pushing the boundaries a little bit, and it's definitely a fun look. It has glitter in it, which, you know, I mean, I personally would wear it on an everyday basis. I'm definitely gonna be wearing this out today, so, you know, I don't mind rocking glitter on a daily basis. But, you know, if it's a little too much for you for daytime wear, of course, just save this for a night out, or, you know, when you're feeling just fun or whatever. I always like to keep my channel a little bit in rotation with, you know, everyday neutral classic looks to more edgier, you know, fun looks, just because it's fun to see a variety. And I know that a lot of you out there probably wear a, you know, a bit of both from time to time. I know I do. Let's see, I'm trying to think if there's anything else to say. So I think that's it. That's all I have to say. I feel like there was so much more that I want to put out in this intro, but I think I'm just blabbing at this point. So without further ado, if you guys want to figure out how to get this look, then by all means, just keep on watching. Bye guys. Alright guys, so I already primed my lid using my MAC paint pot in soft ochre, and I'm going to be referring to these shades in this palette by their column and row. So I set the MAC paint pot with the shade in the first row, first column, and then in my crease I'm going to be adding the shadows from the third row, first column, and the first row, sixth column. So these two shades, and I'm applying that just directly into the crease with my Bobbi Brown eye blender brush. Nothing fancy here, just making sure to give it a nice blend and buff. Then taking the shades from the second row, sixth column, third row, fourth column, and fourth row, seventh column, and just on a more defined tapered pointed brush, I'm just going to be adding those into the crease in that order. I know it's going to be kind of hard to differentiate what shades I'm using, but just follow along with me and really look at the colors carefully. Then taking the three orange shades in the last column, I am just going to be applying this with my Real Techniques Essential Crease Brush, and again, just making sure that everything is really nice and well blended and buffed out. As you can tell, our eye is looking a whole lot warmer now. Then I'm going to be using the shadow from the fifth row, seventh column, which is this beautiful copper shade. It was hard for me to get it on camera, but I'm slowly applying it with a flat shader brush. Then in the center, for a pop of brightness, I'm applying the shade from the third row, sixth column directly onto the center of my lid. Then taking my Sigma gel liner in the shade Liberally Toasted, which is just a medium brown liner, and on my Bobbi Brown fine liner brush, or ultra fine liner brush, I believe is the correct name for it, I am just applying that directly onto my waterline, and then taking the very edge of my brush and just running that right below my bottom lashes, and then just giving it a nice flick on the outside, kind of mapping out our wing. Then taking the shadow from the fifth row, third column, I'm using this shade to just make sure it's all really buffed out and set. Then taking the shade from the fifth row, fourth column, and making sure to buff that out even further. Then taking the really intense orange from the 3rd row 7th column and the one right above that, I'm first taking that really orange one on a pointed hairbrush and making sure to really buff that out over top of those brown shades. Then taking a fluffier real hair brush and taking that lighter orange and making sure again to just buff that out right on top once again. For the brow bone highlight, I'm using the shade from the 1st row 3rd column, applying that directly onto the brow bone and then also in the inner tear duct. For my liner, some footage got lost. This is what I could salvage. I'm using my Inglot Gel liner in 77, and then once I had already placed that wing liner on, I'm just going back in and refining it with my LA Girl Fine Liner liquid liner pen. And then for the glitter and fun part, I'm using my eye candy liquid sugar glitter adhesive with my Obsessive Compulsive Cosmetics beige glitter. I first like to apply a few drops into the cap of the adhesive, and then taking my Sigma wing liner E06 brush, picking up some product and applying it back to the back of my hand. I'm then just gradually applying the little glitter very carefully because you don't want to apply too much too soon, and just adding as I need and as I go along. Once I'm happy with the amount of glitter I have on, and I'm applying this to the base of my wing. You can apply wherever you want, but that's the style I was going for today. Then you're pretty much done. Wait for it to dry. For my lashes, I'm using Lilly lashes in Shanghai, and here is the completed eye look. Now moving on to the rest of the face. I am just making sure I push all my hair out of my face. It was one of those days, nothing was working with me with my hair and I was getting really annoyed. At that point, I think I just wanted to like just pin it up, but you know, whatever. For my highlight, I'm using my Too Faced Candlelight Glow. As you can tell, I do already have my contour and bronzer on. I started off this look with a full face and contour, so I'm just adding color. So once I applied the highlight to the top of my cheekbones with my Bobbi Brown eye blender brush, also to the center of my chin and bridge of my nose. Didn't go above the eyebrows today, just wanted to keep a bit more on the center of the face. I am then applying my blush. This is a new blush I'm trying out. It was sent to me, so I'm still giving it a test run. This is the Jelly Pong Pong blush, and it's in the shade Rose Copper. I'm applying this very carefully because this blush apparently is super pigmented, which it doesn't look like it, especially because of the color, but it actually goes on pretty bright. So I'm just making sure to really stamp and then blend. Then to make sure everything is really blended out and picking up any excess product, I am taking my Bobbi Brown Face Blender brush. This is a real hair brush, so it really helps pick up any excess product and make sure like everything is really blended, as the name states. Then for my lip color, I just received these NYX liquid suede lipsticks in the mail, and I wanted to try one out, so I went with Sandstorm. It's a very cool tone nude. I really personally like it. It's a very different color, very subtly different. Once that's applied, I make sure to set my face with my Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray. So this is the completed look, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!